on a make or break week for us in here, on some lean volume in here, a light short week for us overall. It looks like we are holding sway in here in Amazon. We're up around $4, actually about $3.70 on the day. So almost $4 on the day from yesterday's close. Nice little pop in here, kind of in the overall markets as well. And we are holding this lower trend line. It was looking kind of sketchy in here for a little while, but it looks like we're getting a little pop in here, and this lower trend line of this overall structure is going to be respected. Now, as far as to the downside in here, this lower trend line sitting right at those 229s, that's going to be our first support. Anything below there, you're looking at that 227.15. So right there where your 9-day EMA and your lower trend line is kind of matching up at that 229 is going to be first support. Anything below there, you're looking at this 227.15. Now, to the upside, what are we looking at in here? Well, if we get a nice little gap up in here tomorrow, we could go up and hit those 234s. That's going to be our first resistance. Anything above there, you're looking at that 240 to 241 range. That's kind of right here. And there's really nothing stopping us to get to that range. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens in between the 234s and those 240 to 241 areas to see if there's going to be anything else that's going to be stopping us between there in that $6 channel, because there wasn't really anything in the past. So that is what we're looking at here on this weekly chart. But overall, we will take a nice little pop in here, almost 2% on the day in Amazon after it was looking kind of sketchy in here. And it looks like we weren't going to really hold that lower trend line. Well, now it looks like we're going to get some confirmation, especially if we do get a little bit of a gap up tomorrow. Then we're going to get some good confirmation here on this weekly candle that we are going to hold this lower trend line. Now, your IV ranking here is sitting at 2, so your VIX keeps on dropping. We have a 13 VIX right now. I mean, it was just what, 24 about a month ago or so. So that's crazy drastic drop in here in your overall implied volatility, but you got that overall market rise well. So that's kind of what you look for in an overall healthy market. You get that positive drift with your bonds, you get the pullback in your VIX, and you get a nice rise overall in your SPOs and your NASDAQ. So since we do have that light IV right now, it looks like everybody's only pricing in right around a $2 expected move here in Amazon. In the overall markets, you're only getting priced in around $1 expected move by tomorrow's expiration. Compare that to about a month ago where you're getting $6 or $7 moves in 24 hours. Now you're only getting about $1 expected move. So $1 in the markets, you're getting about $2 and some change in Amazon being priced in by Friday. So let's see what happens and see if we can kind of go up and hit those 234s by weeks in on a shortened week. If not, then a nice little hold in here of the 232s or the 231s. We'll give or take about $1 in here. A little consolidation between 231s and 234s would be nice as well. And then next week, we can worry about breaching those 234s, but we'll take what we can get. We'll see what happens in here on a $2 expected move. By next week, you have right around a $5.50 expected move, another light week for us. So we kind of have to keep that in mind as well overall, as we're kind of looking forward in here and watching our overall volume in RSI. So we kind of take all that into consideration as we're looking at all of these indicators and things like that. So it might not just be a true data that you're getting, right? So you have to kind of take into consideration, oh, okay, you got the light volume, this is a shortened week, things like that, as your overall, like, kind of painting a narrative for a certain stock, whatever stock you're looking at. So again, what are we looking at here in Amazon? Well, we have good news, right? It looks like we're going to hold that lower trend line. We're looking for a breach of the 234s, but we're going to go up and see if we can get close to that first on a shortened week this week, and then we can worry about breaching it later. You have right around a $2 expected move coming in by this Friday, and you have a light shortened week in here with $1 expected move priced in by your overall markets tomorrow. So kind of keep all that in mind. We'll see what happens in here tomorrow. We'll see what kind of options net flow is going to start to kind of tell us overall what kind of flows are coming in, and then we're going to play this thing accordingly. But again, nice move in here on the day. It was going to get sketchy this week, but it looks like we're getting a nice little stick save here. So we'll take what we can get. All right, guys, if you like this video, make sure to check us out on all of our social media. We also have a Discord service if you're interested, and you can find all of our socials in the description below.